So, how many of us love roses? But roses can be one of the hardest things to grow in your garden. And usually, if you're a beginner in the garden, you're probably not going to start with roses unless you're shopping with Phillip Watson, because Phillip does all of the work for us. So, what he brought us is a low maintenance climbing rose that's easy to grow. You don't need to deadhead these, you don't need to spray these, but look at the blooms on your screen. You're getting big, beautiful blooms, bold, impactful color for your garden, and they have fragrance. I mean, there's no other fragrance like a rose. You know how like candles and perfumes, they all try to capture it, but there's nothing like smelling a true rose. And think about being able to go out to your garden, clip a few of these stems, put them in a vase and bring them into your home or share them with a friend. So Phillip hasn't brought us a climbing rose in a while. He's doing it right now. And we have two color choices available. So you have your choice of the lilac or the orange. And when you look at these blooms, orange is most limited. So if you're loving the orange, we're down to our final 150. So we're not waiting there. Call us 800-500-7590 to grab your orange. And then here is the lilac. We just brought these in earlier this month, and we're down to our final 150 in one of our colors. Ginger Wald is back with us. She works very, very closely with Phillip. She's also an
I
avid gardener
do.
herself. Ginger, it's good to see you again. And with our
Nice to see you
climbing
too.
rose, so for those of us who are new to gardening, how is a
Yes.
climbing rose different than like a standard rose?
Well, it's a standalone rose where you're going to get multiples with this one. And we call it Rise Up because it is literally going to rise up and continually bloom all summer long. This is not going to be one of those climbing roses that I know I've seen growing up. Actually, I started in the garden with my father who loved roses. And if he had something like this, he would have gone crazy. These are not going to get like up to the 15-foot mark. These are going to stay a maximum, very controlled, of 5 to 8 feet. And they are a climbing shrub. So any sort of posts or trellis or arbors or fences that you have, this is going to give you that narrow column of color from the very top to the very bottom and blooms all summer. It's disease resistant, so you don't have to spray it with anything and you never have to deadhead it. That's my kind of a rose. I grew up having to do that all the time and watch my dad. But look at that. That's that honey, that orange like honey, and there's that lilac. Oh my goodness. And fragrant upon fragrant. These are perennials too. So that means they're going to come back every year and give you that very fruity fragrance, that rose fragrance, as you said, that everyone tries to capture in a spray perfume. Now, Philip Philip actually said, and I kind of watched his last presentation, but I also met with him and talked to him about this. These come to you and they're trimmed already, and they come to you ready to plant.
This is what
And
you
of
get.
course, they're proven winners. Yeah, there you can see it. So if you look in there and you can see there is not just one trunk, there are multiple trunks in the inside because it's on its own root. This is a better plant from proven winners, and it's going to do a better job in your garden. Philip doesn't want you to get something and not succeed. He wants you to be successful. He does all the science, and I love having him as my best friend because I can tell you, I have a huge garden, and I'm always on like, hey Philip, I text him or I call him. Can you give me the information? Because he knows, he does all the science. He knows all of the horticultural science behind the plant. Where us as regular gardeners, like I am, I don't want to know about all of that. I just want to know, can I put this in my garden and where should I put it? So it takes full sun. When you get this at home, of course, you don't get it until it's ready to plant in your area, in your zone area. Put it in full sun. They love full sun. And Philip always says, make sure you give it some food. You
Yes.
have to fertilize it. Give it some food as soon as you put it into the garden. And then once a month, any sort of flowering plant, you're going to want to use that. And that's easy. If you can feed the chickens, now you know I'm talking
Yeah,
like
because I
Philip.
don't have to
If
like
you
mix
can
this
feed
with
the
water
chickens,
or anything, right? I just kind of
no, you
sprinkle it
just
out.
spray
Yeah.
it down. You sprinkle it down. It's like the easiest thing that you could possibly do. But I got to tell you, these look absolutely stunning in your garden. And if you want to get both of them and put them together, that's the showstopper right
Well,
there.
if you do
That's
want to
the
get
rise
both of
up.
them, Ginger, the orange
Yes.
is very limited. So I would not wait
Oh,
on that orange option. So if you're loving how they look together and you just have to have the orange, make sure you're not waiting there with an easy pay under $7 a month. And we always send our plants to you for free, so you don't have to worry about the shipping. And then the other
yes.
option is that lilac. M95024 is your item number. We just brought these in a couple weeks ago, and we're already
Yes.
limited in what we have in the orange. But the fragrance and the blooms, Ginger, I mean, as
Oh,
someone who
yes.
just loves flowers, can't you imagine going to your garden, smelling the fragrance, and just clipping a couple and bringing them in your
Oh,
home or sharing with a friend?
I like to put them near a back door or a back window, something that you're going to be able to smell that fragrance right next to your window. But it is a gorgeous plant and a gorgeous flower, as you can see, that will continually bloom. It's not going to just bloom once and be finished. This is going to bloom all summer long. There's that gorgeous honey. And it's what we're calling our orange color, but it is just absolutely delicious. And when you smell it, it's that fruity rose fragrance. And both of them have that fruity rose fragrance. And there's the lilac. Both of them together, it's kind of like my wardrobe of choice. If you were gonna go into my wardrobe, you would see a lot of that orange, that honey color, and a lot of the lilac or a pink color. And that is just gorgeous in your garden. Again, these are going to grow about a maximum of 5 to 8 feet, and it is a climbing shrub. So everything from down low all the way up, it is going to rise up and give you those beautiful performing, gorgeous roses that are going to continually bloom all summer long. Disease resistant, which I love. I don't want to have to go out and babysit any of my roses.
Right.
So so for me, when Philip said these were coming and they haven't had anything like this, it took forever because of 2020. The gardeners weren't in the centers doing these. It took the horticulturists to do the science behind it and give us this wonderful plant that is like no other.
Yeah.
We've never had this on before.
I mean, make sure you're getting yours for all of those reasons. And here's the thing, Philip wants to make sure you succeed. So this is what you're getting home. It's already an actively growing plant, and you will
Yes,
get his growing guide as well. And if you want to
right.
really set yourself up for success, get the fertilizer, because that's what Philip would say. Your item number is M95024. Fewer than 130 in the orange, and these are new as of a couple weeks ago, so don't wait there. And then we have the lilac. Ginger, it's never a Monday night without you, and we got to see you three
I know.
times. It was good to see you.
I know. It's so great. It's so great. And you know what? Like all of our annuals are guaranteed for a year. Philip would want me to tell you that. And if you have any questions, just call him. There's a number that we have for all of the guarantee, the warranty that comes with all of the plans there. So that's for the annual.
Thanks, Ginger.
Yeah.
Nice to see
Thank you, my dear.
Have a good rest of
Great
your
to
night.
see you. You too, sweetheart.